There was a little bit of Western Mass in the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade this year. The UMass Minuteman Marching Band marched down Fifth Avenue and showed off their power and class in the Big Apple. Well, they made it back home safe and warm. To tell us all about this great honor, Tim Anderson is an assistant professor at UMass and the UMass Minuteman Marching Band director, and he's joined by Courtney Ravales, a Colorguard member. Thank you guys for joining me today to talk about this great and amazing honor. Tim, let's start off with you. So the band has performed for presidential inaugurations. It's performed at the Bands of America Grand Nationals. So some pretty big deals going on here, and now this comes up. How did this even come about?
Well, this is my third year at UMass, and so when I got here, I looked at what has our band done before, what's something we haven't taken on, what's a mountain we haven't climbed yet, and I watched with my wife that year the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade on television. I thought, New York's not that far. I wonder if we could do this one. So just did a little research very quickly through the Macys website, found out the application process, and we went through that, submitted our application back in, I want to say it was either late November or December of 2011. And then while all the students were on spring break in March 2012, we got the phone call. And then somehow we managed to keep it a secret for about 2.5 weeks. Only 3 people on the campus knew it. And then we gave a cover story and invite the band, so they had no idea what was going on. They came in the band room and the announcement was made, and we were off and running from there.
Wow, that's great. Now, Courtney, talk about what was the reaction from everyone when they found out, oh, we're going to get to play in the Thanksgiving Day Parade. What was everybody's reaction?
It was really surreal. I remember when we were first told about it, everyone was jumping up and down and screaming and couldn't hold in our excitement. I know me personally, I've been watching the parade for a while, so to know that we'd be marching in it in a few years was just crazy.
And it's not like you just woke up on Thanksgiving Day and was like, all right, we're going to go in the Thanksgiving Day Parade. There was a lot of preparation that went into this. Talk about that.
Well, it was really rewarding when the day came about because it's something we've been working on for, a year and a half. But a lot of the preparation for over a year have been the logistical points. If you're going to take 400 people into New York, that's over Thanksgiving Day weekend, you better get your hotel rooms taken care of well in advance. So we had those logistics and then vehicles and all finding meals for these students. So there was all that went on. And then as we got into start this year's football season, let's also put together what we're actually going to do on the street, our whole routine and the like. So there was a steady build for basically at least 1 year ahead of time till what happened this past Thursday.
And so slowly it just came down to the final day where there was no more practicing. It's going to be the real deal. So you get into a big old caravan. Talk about how many people and cars and vehicles were involved in all this.
Well, the UMass Marching Band is 394 members, and then you add on our staff, myself, Tom Hannum, our associate director, graduate students. So you bring all of our staff together. So that comes up to 7 different 56-seat passenger vans, which are then filled, every single seat there, 3 different passenger vans, and then 2 box trucks. So 7 buses, 3 vans, and 2 box trucks. And trying to coordinate that going from Amherst to Lower Manhattan, then up to Midtown, and then on the way out after the parade, that was a feat all in itself.
And it was happening on Thanksgiving Day. Courtney, I know normally Thanksgiving Day you're going to be around your family and friends. It's going to be a smaller get-together. Here there's so many of you. What was it like being away from your family and friends? You must have been excited, but then also at the same time you weren't around your family. How did everyone feel about that?
Right. Well, from the past 4 years that I've been doing the band, the members have become sort of like my family. So even though my immediate family were eating turkey and watching this on TV, I still felt that my family was with me throughout the whole time.
And that is one big family, almost 400 people. That's no joke. I saw a picture on Facebook before you guys even got into the parade and started performing. You were practicing in a ballroom. So you guys were even still practicing even down in the city.
Oh, absolutely. We had planned for Wednesday to go over to a high school in New Jersey, but then the weather changed. It would rain pretty much all day, and we just knew that we didn't want to have the students standing around for 4 hours. So we managed to work with the hotel that we could use the ballroom. And then our band is really big, so we would just rehearse like in segments. Those of you that are in the middle of the form, you're on for the next 20 minutes. Those of you that are on the left end of the form, now you're on. And we did that, and then we decided to practice our parade marching, so we just stuck everyone really close. So I think one person was was like up against the wall, and we just kind of marked time, which is called marching in place, and then went for a parade sequence for about 30 minutes and going, so they would get the whole feel for what was going to happen the next day.
And then it was showtime. That's it. No more practicing, and you're doing the real thing. Talk about that.
You know, the whole day started real early because you have to get to the Macy's store in the morning for the television cameras. Will take a look at your routine, know what's going to happen, so then when you do it live, they're ready for you. So we had to be out on the streets. We left the hotel at 3 a.m., got there, warmed up, and then our rehearsal was 4 a.m. to around 4:15. So already there. And there were different moments along this trip that it started to feel real. Maybe when the buses left Amherst, it started feeling real. And then that was definitely as they showed up and saw the Macy's store and the television cameras and saw the logo, the Macy's star painted on the streets. For most people, realized, wow, this is about to happen, isn't it? So we do that. Then we come back to the hotel and check out. Kids get breakfast. Then we bust up, and then you're dropped off at near West 86th and Central Park West. You dropped off there. And then as we walked out to the assembly area, you started seeing all the floats, like walking down. There's Santa's sleigh, and there's, you know, the different balloons, the Spider-Man balloon, and feel that at this point, this is actually going to happen. So from that point on, I think every student was on pure energy and adrenaline till the very end.
And then when the actual performance really was probably all about a minute, maybe a little over a minute, that it was, you guys were front and center. The whole entire nation, it seemed, was looking at you guys. And then it was over and done with. Talk about how all those months of preparation, and then before you know it, you were like, we're done.
It was very surreal. I know most of us were trying to stay in the moment and just remember as much of the moment as we possibly could, because we knew in just 75 seconds that the moment would be over. So it was very surreal, but it was one of the greatest things that I've done yet. So I was really happy.
Oh, that's great. Thank you guys so much for coming on and telling us all about this fun experience.
Oh, our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.